Hey everybody, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are, and welcome to my weekly strategic swing trader video. As always, thank you for tuning in. This is Sami Abusaad. I'm Director of Education at T3 Live. I'm going to look at the market and give you my outlook for next week. We will also go over my top swing ideas for Monday. But before we start with this video, if you like this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Also beneath the video, you will see some helpful links if you'd like to check them out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the market, showing you the daily chart of the QQQ, which is the tracking ETF for the NASDAQ 100. As you can see, the market has a sell setup pattern. We have three green bars into the declining 20, and we had a narrow range bar, or it wasn't really a narrow range bar, a narrow body bar yesterday, Friday. So it's a very simple, clean, clear pattern. If we break under this, then that's a sell setup that triggers, and the next target area would be down here. We have a void to the green bar's low, okay, on the Qs. If we were to look at the SPY, same exact picture. I don't even need to redraw the lines, right? Just under this bar's low, lower to here. But the question is, after this, where do we go after that? I mean, do we continue lower? What do we do after that? And that is not very clear because the daily is trying to transition lower. But if you look at the weekly and the monthly in an uptrend, and the weekly is already at almost at the rising 20. And usually the larger picture, the larger time frame wins out. So let me recap one more time. If the market breaks under, if the Qs breaks under 182.88, we, technically speaking, should make it to the prior low, 179.31 or so, this area. But after that, it's not going to be very clear. I will switch to probably neutral, depending on how we get there. Why? Because the daily will be downtrending with a lower low and a lower high, but the weekly is almost at the rising 20. So it's not going to, so I don't have clarity yet as to how the entire week should play out. I do have an idea as to how the first day or two of the week will play out if we break under 182.88 on the Qs. But again, after that, it's going to be day to day. If you're in the room with me, then you'll get my bias and my game plan every morning in the pre-market. Okay? And then tomorrow, or on Monday rather, we will have our coaching session. So we'll talk more about it. But market, initially for the first part of the week, I'm going to have a bearish bias. Especially, I mean, obviously if we break under 182.88. And then once we get down to the bottom, then I'll probably have neutral bias. Okay? Eventually, I think, we'll break and then go back up. Eventually, because the weekly uptrend will win out. Some swing ideas for next week. I have the following. This FTEK damaged beyond repair, the stock, but I'm predicting a dead cat bounce if we take out the prior base on the hourly chart. Stop right here. Okay? So this would be kind of just a dead cat bounce. TMUS is the strongest of all the wireless companies, telephone carriers, and I like it the most as a long-term play. It reminds me a little bit of the MTCH, Match.com, which I currently have as an open position. It broke out on the daily. This was also an earnings play that I was in from $60 or so, somewhere here, gapped up the next day. But I have it now as a long-term play because it broke out on the daily, broke out on the weekly, broke out on the monthly, you name it. So TMUS is not going to have the same momentum because Match.com had a tier 1 professional gap up here that ignited the breakout. TMUS does not have that, but I still like it higher. It broke out already on Thursday, put in an inside bar on Friday, and if it takes out the inside bar's high, I am going to be in it as a long-term play. Okay? Nuon is also setting up as a long-term play. It's a breakout. I don't really love the daily chart. on Nuon. But if you look at the weekly, also the weekly is breaking out. If you look at the monthly, this is the chart that I wanted to show you. See this? So it's breaking above that trend line, and moving average starting to curl and point up. And if it does break out, really get going, this would be target one. That's a lot of room to target one. And this would be kind of target two, target three. Does that make sense? So a lot of room to go. Will it be able to transition successfully? The most challenging period for a stock is when it's trying to transition. It's what I call the metamorphosis of stock prices, because that's when the stock changes its nature from being a sideways stock, right, to a bullish stock for the first time in 2-3 years or more or longer. So that's the issue. Could easily fail, but if it works, it'll be a big play. Nuon as a long-term play. This UPLD is the strongest stock in the world. Look at this monthly chart. Look at the weekly, all out bullish, and the daily has a red bar and a topping tail. So if we take it out, we should actually continue higher. I'm not planning on playing it first thing on Monday. I'm actually gonna pass on it on Monday unless it bases for a couple more days. I won't be in it, but I'm hoping it bases for a couple days, and then we'll look to play it long later on in the week. Short ideas, since the market is setting up short, I have a lot of ideas. We have the AVYA basing and as a base breakdown. I just did the NLS short, still in it, a few days ago, similar. AVYA is not at all-time lows, but it looks good short if it breaks under the lows here. Okay? BGS is a daily sell setup, so it would be under the base here, stop above the green bars high. It's not bad. I like it a lot on multiple time frames, but it's not the tightest stop. So stop would have to be here, entry would have to be here. So it's not the tightest stop, but I like how it's close to the 20 on the daily, the weekly, the monthly. So I like it all around. I tell you the truth, I did the CNX yesterday as a long-term play. This was an earnings play a couple of weeks ago, and I kept it, and then I decided to get out of it because I wanted the earnings account to be I didn't want to keep anything overnight beyond one night. So I didn't want to mix swings with earnings, so I ended up getting out of it, and I ended up getting back in it yesterday. I like this as a long-term play to $5, okay? To like $5 or so. I really, really like the CNX lower as a long-term play. BGS reminds me of it. It's similar. CERS is a base breakdown, so this would be similar to the AVYA base breakdown. CNDT is a sell setup on the daily chart, like it on the hourly also. Let me show you the hourly chart. So just under the base, stop above it. The issue with the CNDT is we have the support below right here, and that would be target 1. Target 2 would be about 750 on the CNDT, but oftentimes, a lot of times, they only reach target 1. Okay, I did forget to show you something, which is before I finish the video here, the disclaimer to let you know that whatever we discuss today is for educational purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Okay, so just keep that in mind. DBD, this is unfortunate because I was in it short a few days ago, last week. Okay, short right here, and look what happened. I put the stop at 10:31, I think, just over this, or 10:32, and I got taken out. So I got trailed out here, and then it continued lower. After that, on Thursday, I got trailed out. Friday, dropped again. I really like it lower still, but it's a bummer because I already had the perfect entry, and I got shaken out by just a few cents. NC is a $1 stock, but like the hourly chart on the INSY, clean, clear breakdown under the base right here. Very beautiful. Stop above the base. Okay, target 1 and target 2. Who knows? It could go to 0. You might think, that a $1 stock can't make money on the way down. Oh, it sure can. If it drops to 50 cents, you'd make 50%. If it drops to 25 cents, you'd make 75%. We've seen a lot of the oil stocks recently drop to the pennies, right? Look at the HK. The BRS doesn't even come up anymore. Was a $1 stock, dropped to 28, and then it got halted or it got delisted. And then MEMS or something, I forgot the symbol, but another one that is dropping currently that also came from a breakdown at $1 or so. Lyft has a sell setup, looks good on the daily. It's in a downtrend at resistance, declining 20. But the hourly is not very good. I like it when the 20 MA on the hourly chart curls and starts to point down before getting into a play short. So Lyft doesn't look quite ready yet on the hourly chart. I talked about Lyft and Uber. It's very, very simple. Lyft and Uber are similar, but they're not the same company, right? They don't have the same outlook, I should say. Uber is a much bigger first company, but also has a lot more going for it. Has a lot more venture capital support. Has a lot more exciting things about it. Is not just a taxi company basically like Lyft is. So Uber is, of the two, Uber is a much more exciting one. But look, when Lyft right out of the gate does this and then crashes, that doesn't bode well for Uber at all. So I wouldn't touch Uber. If anything, I'd look to play it short, right? But again, Uber is not the same as Lyft. It has a lot more going for it, so I am not expecting it to fall apart like Lyft has since going public. Okay. REGI is a base breakdown. It triggered already on Friday, but it didn't go anywhere, so it can continue lower. REGI. TLRD is a daily base breakdown. Really like it lower. Gap down, couldn't bounce. Look at this. Gap down, couldn't bounce. Where did it go eventually? Lower. Gap down, couldn't bounce. Where is it going now? Lower, probably. So I do like the TLRD as a long-term short. It looks in serious trouble to me, TLRD. TRXC is another dollar stock, 123 plus the sell setup. Okay, so under $1.30, stop over $1.45. And then Triple V, which I plan to play on Monday if it triggers, is a short right here, stop right here. Okay, if you're in the strategic swing trader, log into your account right now and you'll see which ones I picked, which ones I'm actually I'm gonna play on Monday. Okay. I am also going to talk about Bitcoin, but since this video is already long enough, I'm going to do a separate video right now about the cryptocurrency market. Okay, so feel free to tune in just the next minute or two. Thanks so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, be sure to check out the links in the description. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to customer service. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.